PlayGrey.com, just to do a little live stream of some Euro Truck Simulator 2, a game that it's my current addiction, to be frank. Something I like a lot. It's been out for a while, since 2012. Most people that are probably watching this know about it and have been searching for it on YouTube. So if you found this, thanks for taking a look. I'm not going to probably show you anything you don't know, but if you haven't seen it before, I'm a little bit of a noob. I've reached level 10. I've done a little bit of driving, picked up a few trucks. I'm running this one with Promods, Promods 2. Take a look. I'm not going to probably show you anything you don't know. Let's turn that audio down. There we go. And going to do just a quick trip from Poland to Austria. Well, it's not really quick, but it's a trip. We'll stream this for probably 20-30 minutes. I'll talk about a few things that come to mind so you can get a feel for it. If you haven't played it, you should go buy this game. There's been a little bit of traction with it lately because of American Truck Simulator, and Euro Truck Simulator is a significantly more complete game than American Truck Simulator, but if they continue to build it out, they've got a good track record, the company behind it, and American Truck Simulator will add a bunch more states and trucks and all that good stuff, but Euro Truck right now is head and shoulders above almost anything. So I've added Promods 2.0 on here on this map, which adds significantly more map, as it were. I mean, you can go all over the place that you can't go with the stock game. The yellow areas are the areas that I've been to. The one thing I wish I had that I don't have is Steam Cloud, because I obviously bought this from Steam, and so I've got a couple of different profiles. I've been to some of the areas on here that are not highlighted on my laptop. This is on my desktop computer, but I travel all the time. So I have a job that I have taken. I will go there. I'm just hauling some sugar to from Poland to Vienna. There's my truck. I spent a little money on it, done some upgrades to it, all that good stuff. The truck models obviously are really cool, and all the different views and all of that are pretty sweet, and something I like. So I'm going to start driving as soon as I get into the green light. Start my truck back up here, and I won't stream any music because I don't want the YouTube police to be taking my stream off if it plays a song that they don't like. But I'm just going to take it for a drive and let you guys watch for a little bit and get a feel for things. Some of the things that I've learned. I am keyboard driving. Again, I'm on the road a lot, so I actually keyboard drive because when I'm on the road, I take my laptop with me, and it allows me to play without having to haul a controller around. When you fly like me about 120 times a year, anything you can do to get rid of extra luggage, you're going to try to do. So that is why I do not normally travel with a controller. So I try to play games that I can play with a keyboard. So I've gotten pretty good at keyboard controls, but that's why you're going to see the steering wheel doing herky-jerky things sometimes. I will say this, if you're playing Euro Truck Simulator, and you probably have if you're watching this, and you're a veteran or not, but you don't run Promods, you really should run Promods. It really adds, it's like literally 50 new cities, 5 countries, a bunch of extra things, just billboards and ads, and just to me it just makes the game much more alive than the stock game, and it's just an example of how moddable it is. So hats off to SCS and also the guys behind Promods. So really cool. Anyway, a couple of interesting things I've noticed about the game early on was you can pretty much drive right down the middle of the road and not get a ticket. You get tickets for speeding, and you get tickets for running red lights, and of course you take damage if you run into somebody or hurt your truck, but you can literally drive right down the middle of the road and take both lanes, and I've really not had any repercussions of that. So maybe there's a possibility of that, but so far I have not seen it. I'm driving a Volvo. I really like the Volvo trucks, and then I've read some subsequent reviews that say that they're a pretty good beginner truck. So I have been staying with that, and I've done some upgrades to it and some fun stuff. Just to add so I can haul heavier stuff in longer hauls. Again, I'm not a pro at this by any stretch, but you know, I've logged enough to get some upgrades, upgrade my shop. I got a couple guys working for me. The meta game for this is pretty interesting because, so, you know, the whole meta is you are growing a trucking business and you hire other guys to work for you, and you get extra money, and you can grow extra cities and, you know, more trucks and all of that, which to me is cool, but not really something that I'm interested in. I mean, I do it because I want the extra money, but you know, it kind of becomes truck dress up. You get extra money so you can get more trucks and get more cool things and upgrade them. But also, I just like sightseeing. I've traveled quite a bit to Europe and Eastern Europe specifically, Central or Eastern Europe. And some of these places I'm going to are places that I've actually been, which is kind of fun to drive to. And so that's been kind of fun to go back and revisit some of those places I haven't been to in a while, but I've been to. And so there you go. It's fun to do. So out here in the countryside, a couple things that I like. Cruise control is my friend, and the default key binding for that C. But like cruise because I'm not worried about speeding. I can set my speed and then I can just hang out. The two views that I like the bumper view a lot because it feels like a driving game then to me. And you can see more of the area around here not blocked by the cab. The cab's cool to look at, but after a while, this is kind of cool. The other one I like a lot is the top of the cab view because you're up higher and you can see more things. Good for screenshots. I've taken lots of screenshots of billboards and other random things when playing this way. Not real good when you're in traffic, but when you're out on the open road and you're just kind of cruising along, this is a pretty cool place to be. And then you've got the mirror in the upper right that I just leave up so that I just follow the white line. And if I know if I'm close to that white line, I'm not going to be over the middle line and everything's okay. Then I can enjoy the scenery and not worry about the other stuff. Plus you get a little better engine noise out here. You can kind of hear the engine and all of that. So again, things that I enjoy. Every once in a while, of course, though, you just dive back into the cockpit so you can look around if you want to look at things. But I do really enjoy riding out here on the outside, unless I'm in traffic or need to navigate things. Which, of course, the GPS is real important for that to pay attention to. So I've had a few intersection T-bones and done a few things that were pretty boneheaded. I'm sure that veterans would think is not the smartest thing in the world, but fun nonetheless, and oddly soothing. Now, again, there is a radio function, and it refreshes from the internet, and there's a zillion, that's a technical number, there's a lot of different cities and languages and music that you listen to. So I listen to a lot of, I've been in Slovakia several times, I've been to Bulgaria a lot, I listen to Bulgarian and Slovakian radio, been to Austria quite a bit. And so I try to find radios probably in those countries the most to listen to. I spent some time in Germany and other places too, but I seem to like the Eastern European, Central European radio stations. Even just pop, even though I'm not a big pop music guy, I do love those radio stations. So this particular trip is about 800 kilometers and change, so now here I am. Slow down, jump back in my cab. You can see on the GPS where it's down in the lower left corner of the GPS where you've got the speed limit, and again, I've learned to pay attention to that a little bit more than I used to because I get tickets. The mechanic seems a little different for this than American Truck Simulator. I haven't played American Truck Simulator a ton, but I played it enough. It seems like the cops are the ones that get you in American Truck Simulator, and that's not the case with Euro Truck. I think it's more tied to cameras at intersections and cameras in towns and cameras in certain areas at Dania. So, but you know, again, I can't explain why this game is interesting and relaxing, but it's fun to jump in it, put on the radio, and just drive. Some areas are more relaxing than others. I've been on some roads that are really not fun. I'll show you one here in just a second. It doesn't show that I've driven it on this map, but I've driven it on another profile on my laptop, and it was downright miserable. if we look at the map here, down in this area right here, I drove this, and this whole road is dirt, and there's like a log truck place right here. And there's literally guys stuck on the side of the road and logs, and they're on their phones, and it's just a miserable, slow drive that's tight. And if you like a challenge, it's cool, and this drive even afterwards is hilly and whatnot, but it's really slow. This is anyway. So not all roads are created equal, and again, some of these roads and some of these routes and these areas outside of Promods don't exist. I mean, I saw this one and I was like, holy cow, this is another one that would be, I think, pretty miserable. But again, a good challenge, I'm sure. But I know that, I keep messing with my nav. I know that there are some other mods out there that add other maps, but I'm still interested in going up to Latvia and Finland and other areas. I really want to go over to Reykjavik, go to Iceland. That's really interesting to me because I've been wanting to go there in real life. And anyway, in any case, for now, I'm driving from Poland down to Austria, and I've spent a good bit of time in Austria and also in Bratislava and Vienna and other areas in between. So there you go. I have a tendency to take a long time to get places because I'm always messing around with the map and looking at things, and I have a hard time. I think maybe that's one of the reasons I like this game is that it does make you slow down and just kind of concentrate. Not really even concentrate, but just relax and enjoy the scenery. I do enjoy driving to places I haven't been. It's fun to see familiar things, but after a while you're like, all right, let's do something else. But and I may get to the meta on this a little later. But the whole owning additional things and trucks and drivers and shops and all of that has been one of those things I've done just because I've wanted to get my hands on more trucks and more money. And of course, you can start the game and play it without taking any money and just do short run cargo runs, but it'll take you forever to get enough money to buy a truck versus just taking a loan from the bank. So you take the loan from the bank and then suddenly now you've got payments you're making. But it's really easy to keep up with the cash flow if you even drive a little bit. Don't get into accidents every 5 minutes and don't speed every 5 minutes. So I think my 14-year-old son played the American Truck Simulator, and I think his first night he racked up $8,000 to $15,000 in fines and stuff because of his inability to keep the speed down. But they patched that since and made it a little bit more forgiving. I think they had some early issues with it being very unforgiving from a fine standpoint and all of that. But interesting game. It does have full controller support. I actually have a steering wheel here, but I don't use it for this. I use it upstairs on my Xbox for Forza and some other stuff. But once you get the hang of it, it's really not. And you get your mirrors right, and you can adjust your head with the mouse. It's really not difficult. I know other people that play with a gamepad, not difficult. But for me, it's logistics. Playing on an airplane or playing in a hotel room, it's one less thing to pack. But I was playing on, it does work offline, it syncs online to Steam, because I was playing on an airplane a couple weeks ago, and the guys behind me are sitting here watching going, what the heck are you playing? Is that something for your job? I'm like, well, no, it's not a real job, it's actually a game, even though it may look like it. So anyway, it's an interesting thing when people look at it and react. But the modeling for the trucks is really pretty impressive when you look at the different modeling for the trucks. I mean, the mountainside, even the graphics on the sides for a game of this age, and the modeling obviously is really good, and some of the foliage and stuff is pretty basic, but you're not getting it for that. And again, Promods adds like more road textures and more road signs and details, and even the branding for trucks and the trailers and all of that. So that's pretty cool. And there's the amount of mods outside of even Promods that are out there is just unbelievable. When you go to this, I think it's ets2mods.org. I'll put it in the link at the bottom when I'm done. I can't remember, I've got it bookmarked. But I mean, you want a pink Mercedes with fur interior. I mean, you know, there's mods for it. I mean, it's the number of mods are pretty insane. I try to wrap my head around the number of hours that people spend. I mean, I've only spent probably 30, 35 hours in game. I mean, real life time, and which is nothing compared to the hours I see and the hours I can see with this mod and what people have spent on the game relative to making it complete. So of course, that's the one advantage of being a mature game. So I'm sure that, again, once American Truck Simulator gets there too, it'll be probably better too. But right now, Euro Truck is king, and it's just frankly more interesting to me, the locales and the things that you get to see. Well, let's come to a stop here. There we go. I think being aware of your trailer length is pretty key. Some of these roads, especially in Poland, I'm looking at you, Poland, are certainly more narrow than we would be used to seeing in the United States. Not that unusual for other countries. I've seen some pretty crazy narrow roads in England and even in Bermuda and South America and other places I've been. But, you know, I wasn't driving an 18-wheeler either. So, you know, I can only imagine how much fun it's not to drive a 18-wheeler in those areas. So you can see where I'm at. I'm right here. I got a nice, pretty long straight stretch here that's not got a lot of interaction. So I'm going to change the top view a little bit and watch some scenery before we get down here. And I've still got 600 kilometers to go, so I got a ways to go. I'm just going to keep driving for a while and stream for a little bit, and away we go. I'm really doing this to test YouTube's live streaming. I haven't done a ton, and so forgive me, I haven't been really watching chat. It doesn't look like anybody's on right now anyway, other than me, but I'm doing this as a test to see what YouTube's live streaming's like versus Twitch. I've done some Twitch stuff. Again, GreyGamer.com is a website that I run and a community that I run. It's been pretty dormant for the last year, but I'm going to pick it back up again. I've been busy with other things, and I'm going to change the format a little bit. And I figured Euro Truck was a great thing to do it because it's really kind of captivated me here recently, and it's one of those things that's just fun to sit with and spend a little time with and cruise around and all of that. So it was a good catalyst for that, I guess. But there are some interesting mechanics to this game relative to, there's a sleep mechanic too, that you do have to sleep after a while, and you can see that on your screen. If you hit F6 on your little computer, it'll tell you what you're hauling, where you're going, when the delivery is expected. You do have to be there within the time window, how much money you're going to make, how many hours you got left, which kind of factors in when you're going to stop and rest and all of that. So that's interesting. The trucks are all really interesting. I haven't driven them all yet. I've driven the Scanias, the Mercedes, and the Volvos. There's the first yawn, so I'm getting tired. I'm going to have to rest here pretty quick. If you wait too long for resting, you'll actually start paying penalties. You can drive for quite a while, and the screen starts to get dark and get light, and get dark and get light when you. I must have hit the cruise off or something, or I'm just going uphill. The sleep mechanism is interesting. It doesn't never completely like lose control of the truck or run off the road or anything crazy, but you do start to fade out a little bit, which I thought that was interesting. But after a while, the little bed turns red. That's in the HUD, and you start to actually start paying like 150 euros every few minutes. So you do have to pull over and sleep, which I think is interesting, and I think that's probably good. It's more realistic. And you got to stop and get fuel. So that's another interesting thing. Pretty expensive. It gives you some nice idea of fuel. Holy cow, crazy expensive. Some of these intersections, which again in America we're not used to these. You know, these like open intersections on freeways. We get a little bit of that, but nothing like you get in Europe. Or the other thing that's interesting is cruise along on a 4-lane, 6-lane road, and then suddenly there's a roundabout. That'll throw you off, or a traffic light, and you're going, 70 miles an hour. Those are things that'll get you in trouble. But it makes it interesting, so you gotta pay attention. Oh, it looks like we got a gas station / rest area right here. So I'll just pull in here, take a quick nap. Really not a quick nap, it's a full sleep, but it happens really fast. I will pull in here and rest. Try to keep my trailer on the road. So I should be able to pull in up here just on the left, and then it'll tell you to stop your engines, and then you can rest. Also, I got to take a quick look around the truck again, because again, the models for the trucks are really pretty impressive. Turn off the engine, take a nap. Now I'm going to be driving at night, which is interesting. Turn the lights on. You got high beams also. Oops. Which is interesting. But yeah, so the truck models are cool. This Volvo, I put a custom paint job on it, added a light bar and extra wheels and all of that. So a little name tag and all of that. So just little details that are pretty cool. We're gonna get back on the road though. And away we go. Merging on these freeways is always interesting too, because the on-ramps are really short. Again, something we're not used to in America. Usually our on-ramps have a little more leg to them, and I've had guys run into the back of me. And you take damage on the truck, or you can take damage on the cargo. And of course, you take damage on the cargo, you get penalized when you get paid. Damage on the truck, you just got to stop and get it repaired, which of course costs you money too. So at the end of the day, it's all about the money. Oh, loan installment. See, you have to pay. That was 8,000 euros. So that's because I have a 400,000 euro loan out because I have 3 trucks and 2 drivers. So I've only got 23,000 euros right now because I spent a bunch of money on upgrades for trucks, so I could, 1, because it's fun, and 2, so I can haul a little bit heavier cargo without it being so painful. So I can get a little better speed now. This Volvo's got a higher horsepower engine and done a few other things to it. So I'm going to spend there's some other trucks I haven't driven yet, like I was talking about earlier. So I've driven the Scania, the Volvo, and the Mercedes. There's also a MAN, there's Renault, and what else? There's another one, or a couple more actually. So I don't know them all, but you find them when you go into the cities. You can actually find truck dealers, you find recruitment agencies to hire more drivers. This is when you got to pay attention. People slow down at intersections, just like real people do. Had people dive out in front of me, had to jack my brakes, have people jack their brakes when they're turning. It's just like driving in real life. So there are some areas in Europe where the drivers are significantly better than American drivers, and some areas in Europe where they're significantly worse. It's much more Wild West, and so that's been interesting. You just got to be defensive and aggressive at the same time. So if I can do this without wrecking, there we go. So some of these areas kind of hard to see. You turn on your brights, you can see a lot more, but it's not always good for courtesy to other drivers. Again, nighttime's nice because you don't have nearly the people out on the road. So that's one trade-off. You don't get to see as much scenery. I mean, you get to see stuff at night, which, okay, lots of lights, but you don't get a lot of the detail that you would get during the day. But the flip side is you don't have nearly the amount of traffic. So again, I think that's a really cool I'll see. Here's another example. Get over, and sometimes you got to dive over. Again, we treat sometimes these roads are a little different in America than they are in Europe, where we get a little bit more notice, or we can tell a little bit further out that we need to get over. And I've gotten in trouble with that more than once. So I'm going to cruise for just a little bit longer. I won't torture you to the end probably. I still have another 480 kilometers to go. Again, there's things like construction. I mean, it's just, I love the attention to detail. You know, all the little things, road construction, people alongside the roads, people walking around. Again, it's all very rudimentary, but it just adds to the notion that you're just in something rather than just playing a video game. Whoa. Yeah, as I wreck. Getting close. There we go. I was able to get through that nice, spacious roundabout, cloverleaf. So anyway, it gives you a little bit more. To me, it's a little bit more immersive that way. So I like that. I do like the fact that the border crossings of the different countries are open, European Union countries. So that's interesting because, you know, back in the day before they were all in the EU, and I've been to Europe pre and post, and it's interesting to go through some of these border crossings that used to be quite locked down and lengthy to get through. That now you just breeze through. You know, it's something we take for granted here in America, where you cruise through a state from one to the other, and it's a non-event. Yeah, I gotta slow down here. But it's kind of a different thing here because there's been infrastructure in place for so long at these borders, and now all of a sudden they're just kind of wide open, and you drive under a canopy and keep on cruising. So that's pretty interesting to me. Oh, keep it on the road. There we go. I'm trying to do too many things at once. A little rest stop there if you want to get some rest. And people in cars, I know, you know, you gain a greater appreciation for why truck drivers are salty. You know, people in cars do not respect your space. I mean, they come up on you, they cut you off, they drive really fast. It's just, it's one of those things. It's funny. It's actually affected me in real life now. You know, I saw a truck parked at a gas station earlier today, and it was an amazing parking job. How he got this truck into this spot, no idea. And you know, you look at that now, and with Euro Truck in mind, and I'm like, oh my God, how long that would take me an hour to jockey the truck in there without damaging something. So it's pretty funny. You gain a greater appreciation for that skill. So if I do that, of course, you can see a lot better, and I'm blinding everybody. But good for 2-lane roads. I try to keep them off on the freeways. Again, trying to be a good, respectful driver. Now see up here, here's another. It looks like I needed to stay in this lane. If you look at the GPS on the right, it looks like if I stay in this lane, I'm okay, but I'm unsure if it's going to dive off on me. I don't believe it is. It looks like I'm safe here. Yep, I am. So, but it's different from country to country, which again, I like. I like the variation in countries and how they handle different intersections and roads and even complexity. I mean, you go to Germany, you know, highly populated areas, and some of the clover leafs and craziness that is there is like, it gets very confusing. So, anyway, that's cool. So I'm going to stop driving here in just a little bit and just jump in to show you a couple other things, so I don't bore you with just staring at nighttime signs as I drive across the country, across multiple countries. But thought you'd find some of the aspects of this interesting. Oh, I just turned off all my lights. That's not good. Oh, and then see, car almost cut me off. There we go. So it's really easy to get sideways in a hurry if you're not paying attention. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure if with a steering wheel, if I hooked it up and used it, it would be significantly easier for those of us who have been driving for a long time, I've been driving for a very long time, and so it would become probably much more second nature, but I try to play games that I can take on the road with me, and this is one I can take on the road with me, and I've had great luck with it, and it's actually gotten really easy for me now relative to just using the keyboard. As a matter of fact, I probably find it harder now to use Xbox controllers for doing certain things. I'm certainly more of a PC shooter guy than a console shooter guy, so that's been an interesting transition over the years. Luckily, I can still play CSGO and other ones that are still pretty prevalent, even Call of Duty, but I've found that my kids like that more on the console than me. So, as soon as I get past this sign up here, I'm going to stop for a second. I just want to show you just the aspects of the whole managing trucks and all of that. So, I'm just going to keep driving here. I'm just going to hit escape. You can come in here, and it's kind of cool. You can go to truck dealers. You can see what truck dealers you've discovered, and for the different brands and all brands. You can buy online once you get to a certain level, or you can buy in person. I can buy online yet. Yeah, I don't have 5 trucks. I've got 3 trucks, but I couldn't buy any right now anyway. But it's just interesting to do that. There's also, again, the bank. You can buy. I've got 2 loans cooking right now. I've been making payments on them. Really not interested in spending any more money right now until I get a little better income stream, but I've been doing okay. So that's interesting. The job market is pretty interesting because you can pick whatever city you want to start at, and it will tell you where you're going to deliver to. So that's cool. And again, some routes are really pretty straightforward, and some are like yikes. And the different cargo is worth different things as you gain skills. Some of them are really small. Well, that's only like 4 tons, so really light relative to. It's from Budapest to Graz, which is a really quick haul, 8,000 euros, pretty easy job. So the music seems really loud to me right now, so I'm going to keep this short. But again, the radio, another cool thing. A ton of options, and then the mods are really cool. That's another screen. I won't bother you with that. But upgrades too. There's a ton. I mean, you know, dress my truck up. There are a ton of upgrades for the trucks. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed a little bit. Maybe you found a few things that might have interested you. I believe there's demos for both Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator, so you can go download them and give it a try. Be careful, because when I first saw this, I said, this is going to be the stupidest thing ever. I'm going to grab a truck. I'm not going to like it. The reality of it is, I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's not like race car driving. It's more methodical. There's details, and it's just a fun thing. So if you get a chance, give it a try, and it might be something that you might like. You never know. Thanks for watching, and go to greygamer.com and join the community. We're going to be refreshing that site here in the next 30 days with a new format and new information, and hope to make it a community that's a destination for mature gamers, those of us who have been doing this for a long time, and sharing information and just having a good time. Everybody's welcome, but that's our focus. Thanks much. Have a great one.